We.
I'm above average.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the May back on Monday. So rocky Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That just was plastic. I said, babe, he said it's them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. Ooh, a juke. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Washington, his first carry, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
The first carry now for Marshawn Lynch. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Carr to throw on second down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick, and I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. William Hayes. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Carr gives to Marshawn. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He completes it to Jordan Nelson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
And there's a nice catch by Mike Gesicki, the rookie out of Penn State. And partner, you saw him when you were covering Big Ten football. He didn't block very many people, but that's not what they asked him to do. They asked him to go downfield and catch the balls we just saw there.
Absolutely right, and he can do it with the best of them.
Yeah, and how about him in his high school videos? Did you ever see any of that with him dunking basketballs and spiking volleyballs? His athletic ability is off the charts.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line.
30.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over to the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Amendola catching it left side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They start the drive with Lynch. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Hey, get down, get down.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Throwing now is Carr. Caught by Nelson left side. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a 1st down. That connection with Jordy Nelson coming on the drag route.
Hard to believe that he was a walk-on.
Yeah, Kansas State.
It's so hard to believe that people missed entirely on him. But how about his ability to work and run any route you need? And that completion is evidence that it doesn't matter what you call, he's going to find a way to get open.
Walk on at Kansas State. Now the locker rooms are named after him there. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Lynch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And Nelson's got it here right side. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now Carr. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Carr going to throw. His pass caught at the 4. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. Oh, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
That one goes for 24 yards.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
On first down, Drake. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. It's caught outright, Amendola. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Here's Tannehill. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for them now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10.
Get down.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On second down, here's Carr. Quick hitch, complete. It's Nelson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he finds Cook. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Carr gives to Lynch on the draw. And a short gain down to about the 33. The tackle that time by William Hayes.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down. Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Carr now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. first down. The run with Lynch. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Looking to throw on second down. Caught. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On third down, they go Lynch. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will make our score 9-0. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here comes Grant on the return. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds,